Welcome back, everyone, and I'm here again with SBR contributor Jordan Sharp, and today we're going to be looking at how those odds have been acting up for the game between the San Diego Chargers and the Miami Dolphins. How you doing today, Jordan?
I'm doing good, Dex. Thanks, man.
Awesome, my man. All right, so Phillip Rivers and the Chargers had a tough outing this past Thursday against the Broncos, losing that game 21-35 and putting their record at 5-3 for the season. Now, they come into this match as the 15th best offense and the 10th best defense in the league overall. As for the Finns, they took care of business down in Jacksonville last week, improving their 4-3 record, while being the 13th best offense and the 7th best defense in the league overall. Now, as for the odds, bookies at BetOnline initially were favoring the Chargers on the road by 1 point. Now, since then, that line went to pick'em and then flip-flopped completely, and now the home team is the one that's favored, where the Dolphins can be found at 2.5 points. But honestly, man, I know Miami has been improving as of late and playing a lot better than we were, used to actually seeing them in the past. But I still can't see them as 2.5-point favorites. If anything, I believe that books are probably going to follow 5 dimes and drop it back down to -1. But what do you think here, Jordan?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think the 2.5 is much too high. I used it in a teaser today to push them Chargers up to 8.5 underdogs, which I thought was a great value. So yeah, I mean, I like San Diego here. I think at taking points and potentially on the money line. I like Miami. I think they're a good team, but they haven't played that great at home this year. They did beat New England in Week 1. Divisional game, they started to have some more success against them. They've lost the last 2 home games too. They got embarrassed by Kansas City, and then 3 weeks ago they got they had that tough loss to Green Bay. So they're not definitely. I don't think they're a lock just because they're at home here, and their defense is obviously very good. But San Diego, like you said, coming off of that week against the Broncos, they're going to want to get a win here to make up for that. They have had a lot of time to rest up for that game because that game was on a Thursday, so they've probably had some extra time to prepare for the Dolphins as well. I think we're going to see a Phillip Rivers bounce-back game here. I believe I think he will be able to throw on the Miami Dolphins secondary. They don't obviously have much of a run game either. So, but the Dolphins have been very good defending the pass this season. Obviously, haven't played. They've played about 4 teams that really don't pass the ball that well: Jacksonville, Oakland, Kansas City, and Buffalo. So I think their rating against the pass maybe just a little bit overrated right now, and I think Phillip Rivers is going to be able to combat that.
Yeah, I agree, man. Phillip Rivers is definitely going to want to do something in this game, especially considering the fact that they lost last week, like you said, man. But, it's just going to be a tough game. It's definitely going to be a factor right now that we have to consider is the weather. It's a little bit more humid in Miami than it is in San Diego. So that could actually be a factor right there.
Yeah, the weather. Watching the weather this time around November, weather in Miami starts to get pretty crazy. So it might be something to watch as well. But right now, I think definitely, like we talked about earlier, I think this 2.5 line that you're seeing at several places like Pinnacle, BetOnline, Bookmaker, I think that will definitely at least drop by a half point, if not a full point or more, by Sunday.
Yeah, like I say, man, I believe that bookies should actually follow 5 dimes on this one because 2.5 is just way too much for Miami.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
All right, Jordan, as always, it's a pleasure talking football with you, my man, and I look forward to doing this again next week.
All right, thanks, Dax.
No problem. And for SBR Picks, this is Dax Floyd.
The SBR Network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.